Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and today we're continuing with the spooky, or at least the autumn theme, depending on what you prefer. And today, we're going to see if we can beat the game Pokemon FireRed Extended 3.5 with only a Gourgeist. This was a challenge run that was requested, so thank you for the idea. Gourgeist is an interesting Pokemon with a really fun typing. It's got a really good defense, a decent attack, and everything else is decent enough. There are a few extra weaknesses given the grass typing, but we also resist a decent little bit of typings as well. To take a look at the moves, we actually get a decent amount of both grass and ghost moves. The biggest thing that we'll find ourselves using for, I'm guessing, a lot of battles, especially at the beginning, is the move Trick or Treat. It gives the Pokemon an additional ghost typing, which can help out a lot. It gives us a guaranteed super effective way to get past Pokemon, assuming that we can survive the hits, of course, but given the fact that our defense is kind of good, I don't think that'll be a problem. Overall, I think that we'll be able to beat this game, but I think that the rival and his Pidgeot and then Lance and his Pokemon are going to be an issue. I typically do try to write the script as I go along at least a little bit, so I don't spoil it for myself. But let's go ahead, take a look, and see how we do. For brief coverage of the rules, I can only use Gourgeist in battle, but other Pokemon are fine outside of battle. I cannot use items in battle, though items outside of battle are fine. And finally, I do allow rare candies to be imported, though we do try each run numerous times to make sure it's not just bad RNG walling us. For the beginning of the game, we're going to go ahead and give the rival Charmander due to the fact that Charizard will likely be the hardest for us to face. With access to both fire and flying moves, and us being weak against both those things, that made the most sense. We open with Astonish, doing decent damage, and we do flinch it. Now, for this particular battle, Charmander has no way of attacking us, so we'll be able to take it out without too much of an issue. And then finally, if you like this kind of content, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. At the time of writing this, we are at 1,010 subscribers, which is super hype in comparison to the fact that just a month ago we were well below 1,000, and we're just still cranking up those watch hours best we can. After we complete the beginning game stuff, we initially go to try the optional rival fight. Truthfully, I had misunderstood how Trick or Treat works, thinking that it just changed them to a ghost type, rather than adding it on to their current typing. So, even though Pidgey now has a ghost type, it still has that normal typing, so we can't attack it. And it isn't until writing this that I realize I never bothered checking the nature or the ability yet. Huh. I don't think I did that at any point during this video. So, with no optional rival to fight, we go ahead and make our way through the forest, gaining some much-needed levels before we go to fight Brock. I don't know if we'll be able to win, but we gotta at least try. Brock first sends out Geodude, and we open with Confuse Ray. Geodude uses Defense Curl, and we swap over to Trick or Treat to make it a ghost. It hurts itself, and we swap back over to Astonish, doing decent enough damage. It takes a while, and we get it to red, and then Brock switches to Onix before we take out the Geodude. Rock Tomb from Onix is doing decent enough damage, so we make sure to confuse it to add an extra coin flip, then change it to a ghost type. After that, we can start attacking, and it hits itself once. Thankfully, overall, it ends up smacking itself multiple times, and we get a much-needed crit to take it down. After that, the injured Geodude comes back out, and we just take it down as well. After that, we head out towards Cerulean and make our way into Mount Moon. Now, there are a few issues that we have both inside and outside of the cave. There are pretty solid normal types both in and out of the cave, and that's kind of difficult for us to face. So, after we get access to the cave, we face a few of the trainers that we are able to beat, and then just fight wild Pokemon for a while. After a few levels, we finally learn Razor Leaf, so with a non-ghost type move, we can make it through a lot more Pokemon, and it's also a lot easier for us as well. Given the fact that we're part grass type, I want to see if we can go toe-to-toe with Misty. Despite Starmie being a part psychic type, it doesn't know any psychic moves, so we'll probably be fine. Staryu is first, and we open with Razor Leaf, as Staryu uses Harden. Razor Leaf does take it to about half as it continues to harden, and then we take it to red. Misty heals up, and we're basically hoping for a crit at this point, as we continue doing the same damage, roughly. We take it back to red, and Water Pulse connects as we finally take it down. Next up is Starmie, and we get hit with Water Pulse again, and Razor Leaf is doing decent damage. Another Water Pulse connects, and we take it to yellow. We get taken to 12 HP, and then we take it down to win the battle. Now that Misty is out of the way, it's time for us to fight the rival, and I'm going to be completely transparent here. It's not even worth covering. We try this battle dozens of times, but the problem is we can't take out the Pidgeotto unless we manage to connect about 4 or 5 times, and even then, there's still a Charmander waiting for us. Unfortunately, by the time that we get to Charmander, we have so much sand in our eyes, it's like we kissed a sandcastle. So, as much as I hate to say it, especially this early in the run, we have no choice but to level up to actually get past this part. There's no strategy here, there's no different moves I can learn, I just need to brute force my way past this part. And at level 25, we managed to do just that, and we can take out Pidgeotto down with a lot of Razor Leaves used. With Charmander out, we're able to take it out this time, but that's only because for whatever reason, it was just trying to use Growl rather than attacking, so we could take it down. After that, it's the same with Rattata, as it only uses Tail Whip during its time out on the field. And then after that, Abra can't actually do anything, so it goes down without an issue. Now, while we head through the route to the north, I want to say this ROM hack is a lot harder than regular FireRed. If you're looking for a bit of a harder challenge, whether it be through Nuzlocke or your own solo runs and you're seasoned at the game, this seems to be the way to go. The moveset is updated, the gym leaders have more potions, and they do actually switch out to attempt to make the battle more difficult, but more on that as we get to it, because sometimes, if you know how the AI is going to react, you can predict the switch out and make sure that you get an effective hit upon a new Pokemon re-entering the field. After that, it's time to head to the north, and we take the opportunity to go through all of the trainers. After that, when we get to the boat, we make sure to do the same there as well. Given the fact that we've been losing frequently, especially against the rival, and we have a rival fight coming up, we need to level up when and where we can. But there's a lot more struggles and battles to cover. Rival time. Pidgeotto goes down to some leaves, and since we don't spend an eternity missing, landing a much-needed crit, it goes down. After that, Raticate is a simple one-shot. Next out is Charmeleon, and rather than attacking, it just uses Smokescreen, so it goes down pretty easily. Last up is Kadabra, and a single Shadow Sneak is able to take it down. That only took me 17 attempts. We could grab Cut from the captain, and then after that, head to Surge's gym. I don't think Surge will be too difficult given our grass typing, but let's be honest, aside from Misty, no battle has really been going my way so far. I know I won against Brock, but that was barely. My hope is that Gourgeist will be able to do well during the back half of the game, but let's go ahead and play that footage against Surge. Surge starts out with Voltorb, and we open with Shadow Sneak, taking it below half as Voltorb uses Screech. Surge heals up, and we take it back to yellow, then knock it out. Pikachu is next, and Shadow Sneak takes it out in one shot, and we avoid the static. Raichu is last, and we open up with Leech Seed, just in case this version enjoys Double Team as much as the other. It does opt for Shockwave, and we use Trick or Treat. After that, a single Shadow Sneak is enough to take it out to win the badge for a simple first try victory. Now that we've won that badge, we can go ahead and start making our way toward Lavender Town. That'll open up a few options for us, though, if you haven't played this game before, I do want to clarify for you, in Celadon City, the Game Corner prize TM person does not exist. There are a few other TMs that have been changed to give you more accessibility if needed. So for example, instead of Mega Punch and Mega Kick, if I remember correctly, you learn Fire Punch and Thunder Punch from those two. For now, though, we have a couple different options available to us. We can either go to the Tower, Erika, or Giovanni. Given the fact that most of Giovanni's Pokemon are weak to Gourgeist, that's where we go first. Giovanni first sends out Onix, and we open up with Razor Leaf, taking it out in one shot. Next up is Kangaskhan, and we open with Leech Seed, as it uses Bite for solid damage. We swap to Razor Leaf, taking it to about half as another bite connects. Razor Leaf takes it to red, and bite does hit, but Leech Seed is keeping us healthy and we do take it down. Last up is Rhyhorn, and a final Razor Leaf takes it down, winning us the battle. When Victory Bell is out, it hits us with Acid as we hit it with Trick or Treat, taking it to yellow. Erika does heal up twice, but we can take it down not too long after. With Tangela, we repeat the same process and take it down. Then, I mess up. I accidentally go for Leech Seed as we get hit to 12 HP with Acid, but thankfully our last Shadow Sneak took it to exactly half, so we've got about a 50-50 shot. And we win. Alright, I'll take it. This still took 4 or 5 attempts, but honestly, I can't complain. Back to the tower, and then we'll chat after we beat the rival. Pidgeotto's first, and we Leech Seeded as we get hit with Gusts, and then take it down a few Razor Leafs later, and staying healthy. The next up is Gyarados, and we do Shadow Sneak just to see how much damage, which it's doing decent. So we do make sure to go ahead and Leech Seed it, so we can try to get some of that health back while it's using Leer to drop our defense. Thankfully, that's one of our best stats. We get it to red, and then the rival switches to Charmeleon with Shadow Sneak, and we take it to not quite half. Charmeleon gets taken to low yellow and uses Scary Face, and then we just take it out without getting hit. The nearly KO'd Gyarados is back out, so we can just take it out. As the eggs come out, we take it to about half with Shadow Sneak, and Bullet Seed is basically pinging off of us. We can take it to low red as more seeds ping off us, and then we can take it down. Next up is Kadabra, and we can take it down with a single Shadow Sneak, and that's that. Now that we have some travel and time ahead of us, I absolutely plan to be showing some Safari Zone Scramble. My water bottle needs to shut up. I normally use a reusable cup, but for this, I'm recording really quickly before I go to work, so I just grabbed a water bottle. So if you hear occasional popping throughout, if you've used water bottles, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It always happens at the most inopportune time. But anyway, for Safari Zone Scramble, for whatever reason, I can keep the trainer's Pokemon the same, but the encounters are wildly different. I ran into a Groudon at some point during this game. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Gourgeist for a minute. It's not the worst I've used, but we typically have to go through most attempts more than once. Gourgeist is odd because if you get different sizes, the stats could be different, but no matter what size you do end up using, the defense is outrageous. If I had to guess, this is an average size one, but I don't even know how to check that, if I'm being honest. I still think that at the end of this, we'll be able to beat the game, but I can absolutely see us needing to be level 100 before we get through it. That may not happen, I don't know. It all depends on how the AI is going to react as we get into the Elite Four. However, without putting it off too much, I do think it's time for us to take on Koga. Koga first sends out Coughing, and we open with Psychic, taking it to red as it uses Smoke Screen, and then Koga heals up. We hit it again, taking it to a Sliver, and Koga heals up again, but we do get a high roll on the damage to take it down. Muck is next, and Psychic isn't doing much as I'd like, and it uses Minimize, so we do Leech Seed for guaranteed damage, and it uses Toxic. We try to take out his Pokemon best we can, but with Toxic ramping up every turn, and Koga swapping to Coughing, so we take out one of the weaker ones, and then back to Muck, we just ultimately end up going down before we can take out his Muck. We try this a handful of times, but given the fact that Toxic seems to always connect, we go ahead and call it quits at this level. Even after going to Silph Co, fighting the grunts and grabbing some vitamins, we're not making any headway whatsoever against him or the rival. So to save you all the time and embarrassment, we're just going to go ahead and look at how things go once we get to level 50. Ko goes first and now goes down to Psychic at this level. Muck goes to about half, and we actually lower its special as it uses Minimize, but we still connect, and due to the drop in its special, we can take it out. After that, both of his other Pokemon are a one-shot sweep. This still took me about 6 attempts. The special drop was actually needed because what would happen is we would take the Muck to red, it would use Toxic, Koga would heal up, and then we had no shot in actually winning the battle. This is what I mean about RNG coming into play sometimes. Let's head back to Silph Co. Pidgeotto's first, so we use Psychic, taking it to not even half as it uses Feather Dance. We can take it to red with another Psychic. Twister hits us for a little bit of damage, but we can go ahead and take it down. Next is Gyarados, and we test damage with Seed Bomb, which isn't doing much. And Ice Fang is doing solid damage, so we Leech Seed it. After that, we swap back to Seed Bomb, take it below half, and then a Shadow Sneak takes it out with a crit. Next up is Charizard, and we use Seed Bomb, but it outspeeds us and takes us down to 19 HP, and we're barely doing anything. We do try to Shadow Sneak to test damage, but then we go down. So I think you can guess we're getting absolutely decimated here. There is, of course, the option to go to Blaine, but y'all, we're a grass type. There's a good chance we're going to have to level up there as well, so let's go ahead and just take a look at the rival after the level up. At level 65, we take Pidgeot to half as it uses Feather Dance, then we can take it down. Now at this point, we know how to trick the AI a little bit. As the Gyarados comes out, we use Leech Seed, and that will occasionally force the rival to switch out. We go ahead and swap over to Psychic as he switches to Charizard, taking it to about half. It still takes a good chunk of our HP with its attack, but we can take it down with our next attack. As the Gyarados comes out, we can just go ahead and attack it, though admittedly our HP isn't doing too great. Execute comes out, we take it down with a couple Shadow Sneaks. Alakazam is out, and we take it to yellow as it sets up a wall, and we get hit with a weak attack, and we take it down with 2 HP to spare, barely making it through this battle. So with that, we can heal up and go fight Giovanni. By the way, if you do find yourself playing this, be careful about entering the elevators. For whatever reason, they make it so the game occasionally crashes, but only in this building. I wasn't aware of this the first time that I played this, and lost about an hour of progress. I don't know if that's been patched since then, or maybe I just have bad luck. I don't know. But, it's on to Giovanni. Nidorino is out first, so we use Psychic, taking it out in one shot. Next up is Kangaskhan, and Seed Bomb lands a crit, but I don't think it mattered too much to take it out in one shot. As Rhyhorn is out, we can take it out. Nidoqueen is out, we take it to red as Poison Sting does a little, and then it goes down as well, winning us the battle. Now that we can go ahead and go to Sabrina, if we didn't have Shadow Sneak, I doubt we would be able to outspeed the Pokemon, but that's not a concern in this case. With this battle, as much as I'd like to give an interesting recap of sorts, Shadow Sneak is kind of great. It'll guarantee we attack first, and given the fact that it's physical, it lets us take out her especially bulky team without too much of a concern, while also using the better of our attack stats. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can beat Blaine. I don't feel great about this particular battle. Gourgeist hasn't had many battles that it can take on and beat in one shot. Usually I have to think of some kind of strategy, so let's just take a look and see what happens. With Growlithe, we hit it with Psychic, and for whatever reason, Blaine just switches to Arcanine as we get a free attack in and lower its special. We do move first, so we can take it down, given the lowered special. He brings the injured Growlithe back out and heals it up, and we take it to red, and after another heal up, it goes down. Then Ponyta's out, we take it to half, and it takes us to 38 HP. Then he switches to Rapidash, so we take it to half, lower its special, knock it out, and then the Ponyta, we can just take it out as soon as it re-enters the battlefield. That doesn't feel earned in any way, shape, or form, but I'm also not going to sit here and complain about a somewhat easy victory. On to Giovanni. Giovanni first sends out Rhyhorn, and we use Seed Bomb, taking it out in one go. Next up is Dugtrio, and we get the Quick Claw activation, and Seed Bomb takes it out as well. Nidoqueen goes to low yellow and claps back with Earthquake for a little damage. Giovanni withdraws the Queen to send out the King, and we can take it to yellow. Giovanni heals up, and we take it to red, then we can take it out not long after. The injured Queen is back out, and then goes down, and then finally as Rhyhorn, we swap back to Seed Bomb, one-shotting it and winning the battle. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like that will likely be the last easy battle. We have one more rival fight before Victory Road and the Elite Four. The rival starts with Pidgeot, and their levels are kind of steadily catching up to us. We take it to nearly half as it uses Feather Dance, and then the next turn we can take it to red. The rival withdraws and we hit Charizard with Psychic for not quite half, and then we take it to yellow. And then Flamethrower hits pretty hard, And by hard, I mean that it wrecks us entirely. Once again, we're going through a long line of losses and attempts here. Unfortunately, even if we get a special drop on the Charizard, it's able to lower our HP enough so that the Execute and Alakazam are able to take us out, or the Gyarados. So 57 attempts in and some levels later, we find ourselves all the way at level 75. I know, believe me, I know that leveling up is not the most exciting strat, but I truthfully cannot think of any other options around this. At level 75, Pidgeot goes to half with Psychic and we get hit with Feather Dance. After that it goes down. When Charizard is out, we're doing about a third and it uses Scary Face. The next turn we take it to almost red and it uses Flamethrower to take us down to 57 HP before it goes down. As Alakazam comes out, we take it to red and it only sets up Calm Mind, so then it goes down. Next out is Gyarados and we use Leech Seed. It's only using Hydro Pump, so we're able to remain somewhat healthy. When we get it to red, he sends out Rhyhorn on a Shadow Sneak, and then we take it out with one Psychic. The half-conscious Gyarados is out, and we can take it down. And then with Execute, it just keeps setting up Solar Beam, which doesn't do much, and takes a turn for it to set up, so we can just take it down in a few turns as well. Now there's good news and bad news as we get into the Elite Four. The good news is, we do have the ability to change out TMs multiple times. They're reusable in this particular version, so if we find ourselves getting a little low on PP usage, we could just swap out the moves. The bad news is, we're already getting close to level 100, and we haven't even started with the Elite Four. There isn't much we can do vitamin-wise, because we do try to train rather than level up via rare candy. So let's just go ahead and attempt the Lorelei fight and see what happens. Lorelei starts with Dugong, and Seed Bomb does some solid damage, taking it out in one shot. Next up is Slowbro, and we swap to Shadow Sneak, taking it to right about half. Ice Beam does some solid damage to us, and we use another Shadow Sneak, taking it to what I imagine is 1 HP. Lorelei withdraws Slowbro to Lapras, and we do some damage with Shadow Sneak. Then we swap to Seed Bomb and take it out. The Slowbro is back out and Lorelei heals up, but Seed Bomb does good enough damage. As Lorelei heals again, we use Shadow Sneak, and then we can use Seed Bomb to finish it off. Jinx is up, and Shadow Sneak does take it out in one shot. Last Pokemon of hers is Cloyster, and Seed Bomb takes it to yellow. It dives, and we get taken to 30 HP before we take it down. Alright, one down. Bruno is next, and Onix is up first, so we use Seed Bomb, taking it to a Sliver thanks to Sturdy. Rock Tomb connects and lowers our speed as Bruno withdraws to switch to Hitmonchan. We don't quite take it to half, but then Psychic takes it out. The injured Onix is out and Bruno heals up as we use Shadow Sneak, then finish it off with Seed Bomb. Hitmonlee comes out and it uses Foresight as we use Psychic, taking it to red, and then prepping to knock it out as Bruno switches to the other Onix despite just using Foresight. But that also goes down to a Shadow Sneak and Seed Bomb. The injured Hitmonlee is back out, and Bruno heals, and then withdraws again to swap to Machamp as we take it to below half. The berry heals it, and we use Psychic again on Machamp, taking it to Sliver. Cross Chop does decent damage, but we can take it down. The Hitmonlee is back out, and then we can take it down with one more attack. That was really goofy. On to Agatha. Psychic takes Gengar down in one shot. Golbat is next, so we continue with Psychic, taking it to red as Confuse Ray connects. Agatha heals up and we use Seed Bomb to do a bit of damage, then swap to Psychic, taking it out. Next is Arbok and we use Psychic to take it to red as Screech connects. Agatha heals as we use Shadow Sneak for a bit of damage, then finish it off with Psychic. The next Gengar comes out and we use Shadow Sneak, mostly to see how damage is doing, and we take it to half. Then another Shadow Sneak takes it out. Haunter is last and Shadow Sneak takes it to red as it uses Hypnosis. Then it begins using Dream Eater to regain health. It uses Curse for whatever reason, and we do finally wake up and take it down a few turns later to win the battle. Next up is Lance. Lance starts with Gyarados and we open up with Leech Seed. Dragon Rage will do a guaranteed 40 damage, so Leech Seed gets us back a decent little bit of that health. As he withdraws, he switches to Dragonite, and we do a little bit with Seed Bomb. We swap to Psychic, taking it to not quite half. Wing Attack does a good amount of damage, and we use Leech Seed hoping for decent health, but all too soon, the Dragonite is able to take us down. You'll see here a long line of attempts, And we do end up trying every couple levels. We find ourselves inching closer to that level 100, and that's not great for us. At level 95, this happens. We start by using Leech Seed on Gyarados and then going ham on Seed Bomb. At this level, if he switches out, he's usually going to Aerodactyl, and after a few turns that's the case, and we could take Aerodactyl down in a few shots. Then it's back to Gyarados, who goes down. After that, it's Dragonite, and it's some back and forth, but we do manage to take it down with 63 HP to spare. Dragonair is next, so we take it to red. For some reason, even though he would have been able to knock us out again, he switches to the other Dragonair, so we can take both of them down with only 23 HP left. We have one more fight, and it's a toughie, so I'm just going to skip forward a little bit. Pidgeot's first, and 2 Psychics are enough to take it down after he's done healing up. We Leech Seed Gyarados and Seed Bomb Charizard. We swap to Psychic as it hits with Flamethrower. We swap to Shadow Sneak as he switches out to Alakazam and we take it out in one shot. As Gyarados comes out, we Leech Seed, and that one makes it so Dragon Rage doesn't take us out as we pelt it with Seed Bombs, taking it out. As Rhydon comes out, a Seed Bomb takes it to low health. We swap to Shadow Sneak when the Executor comes out. We can only take it down, but we have 20 HP to spare. Thankfully, the Rhydon then goes down without an issue, and that wins us the battle and the run. That was kind of exhausting, to be completely honest, but I still had a lot of fun with it. Gourgeist is a Pokemon that was requested by Dynasty Star, so thank you so much for the idea. Hopefully it lived up to your expectations. Next week I have an Umbreon and Espeon run planned, but getting the Eevee to evolve into Espeon has actually been a little bit of a challenge. It's getting some daily haircuts and candy to get that friendship level up, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about it now when I could talk about it next week. If you want to keep up with the challenges, make sure to hang out in the Discord, follow me on Twitch, where I sometimes start and sometimes finish these challenge runs. Anyway, I gotta get this edited and then get started on next week's challenge, so, as always, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.